This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Jubin Nautiyal is in the house. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man.
Likewise. How are you doing?
Excellent. Whenever I get news that this wonderful party boy is coming into studio, I'm always really thrilled and excited. And these are very exciting times for you. I mean, you've always championed independent music, and you've always said that the real creativity comes from the independent and then it goes into cinema.
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity to do what is really close to your heart, man.
Yes.
How long have you been working on the song?
3 years.
Wow.
The one I released now, 3 years. I've been living with it, listening to it, and even after 3 years, I felt that this song still sounds fresh to me, and that's the reason I picked this song as my next music producing.
Jubin, the first thing that struck me was, the great folk performers of yore. Whether it's Paul Simon or, whether it's now John Mayer when he takes elements of folk music, Tom Petty, they use the banjo so beautifully.
Yeah.
And you've done that. You've taken a beautiful commercial song and you've used the banjo.
Yeah.
So was that your idea? Was that your music producer's idea? How did it roll?
So when I was little, I was sitting in, I was seeing a concert in my school, Welham Boys. There was this very, very amazing artist who's from the same town as me, Bobby Cash.
Bobby used to wear these country hats. Sorry to interrupt you.
Amazing.
And do all these country music gigs.
So remember his plucking patterns, how he plucks it. It's like he's playing charanga from guitar. And I heard that sound there when I was back in school, and when I wanted to work on this song, that whole charanga feel was there in the back of my mind. And that's how the banjo and those sounds got developed. Then we called Tapas, who's for me by far the best musician for strokes. I think he's amazing, and we are very lucky to have him in Bollywood.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you look at guys like Kalyan and Tapas, whether it's playing lead guitar or whether it's playing the banjo. These are uncelebrated musicians, and I'm so glad that you're taking his name. It's so important for sessions players to get the kind of respect that they deserve.
Hrishi, I think that these musicians are so talented that an Ed Sheeran or John Mayer or a Bruno Mars would love to call them over for a month and just work on some music with them. I think they are that good. And we're just blessed to have them with us and jam with us in such a personal space. And I know live music is alive, and that's what matters.
So when you went to Welham's Boys, did you crush on any girl in Welham's Girls? Do you know her name? Like you ask anybody about their class 4 crush or class 5 crush or a little later, You remember?
So I remember, but I got on stage early. So when you are the cute boy with the guitar on stage, suddenly you get letters, and then then when you are getting too much of letters, then you don't end up writing too many letters. So I was in that space. I started getting a lot of letters from class 12th girls while I was way junior. They used to find me cute. You're taking me back. You're taking me back to where the music got inspired from.
Yeah, but there must be some girl. I mean, irrespective of how popular you are. I mean, even if you ask somebody like a Tom Cruise, and he's so famous, and he'll always remember his high school crush. You remember your high school crush?
Yes, I do. I remember her, and we got together for some time, and then we drifted away for some time. But I think the first person you get to know like that, it's special. I think it's always special.
Totally.
Somebody you never forget, and somebody you have shared so much innocence with. I think
And that's why we respect her so much. We're not going to take her name.
Yeah.
It's the feeling is more important. And that's what this song does. It goes back to a very old school kind of romance. It's very laid back. It's not a adrenaline pumping kind of track.
Yeah.
And I see that you've gone back to that old school romance, and you've also changed your look through the song, man. I mean, so is it going to be that look now, or are you going to go back to your original, which is there at the end?
That was just the look was just a way to show two different times. That's exactly how I look if I cut my hair short. I look probably 7-8 years younger, and that's how I used to look back in college. And something about that look, man, it's just more normal. It's more relatable look. It's more me from the past than from the present, and it worked. I think Hrishi K is talking about the look, baby.
Totally. And Kritika is so amazing, isn't she? I mean, she's so beautiful. You know, she's beautiful. She's intelligent. You can have a conversation with her about anything, and
she has so much silence in her persona. She doesn't have to say too much to express. You know, her persona is such that it really complements my song and the silence in my song. You know, and the mood of my song. Kritika Kamra has really contributed too much to the video. That performance that she's giving there brings a lot of intensity out of the song, and that's beautiful.
And I believe you got lucky. This is the first time she's ever done a music video. I mean, she's done all this work on television, a little bit of cinema work, but never done a video before.
So I met her while we were promoting her song from Mitron. I had sung Savarne Lage for her. And I met her then, and that time I was working on Hai Pyaar Ka, and the moment I saw her, I just told myself that she's gonna be a perfect casting for my video. She has that ability to talk through eyes and just not say too much and then still say so much. I didn't know how that was possible, but when we got close to the release of the song, I wrote to her on Instagram. I said, I'm planning a music video. Are you in? And she said, sure, I would love to be part of it. Can I hear the song? I sent her the song, then the song drove us together to Goa. We shot it, and that's what we see today.
And Rocky, who's your director, is he also the lyric writer who helped you, or is it your lyrics? You know?
He's written the lyrics, and I compose and he writes music, and we are like a singer-songwriter duo.
And Aditya Dev helps
Aditya
you with the music. Yeah?
He's the music producer of the song, and so I've been a admirer of Rocky's work since Guncha Koi Tere Naam Kar Diya. That was a brilliant song, amazing writing. I loved how...
Which is Moh Chauhan and Silk Route.
Yeah. Moh Chauhan for MTV Unplugged. It's a beautiful song. How it has been written was very, very special, and that's the kind of writing I was looking for in all the songs that I wanted to work. And when me and Rocky met, it was like we were creating some good sound. We did Hum Nawa Mere, which did well. We did Hai Dil, which did well. Then we did Chitti, which did well. Now we're doing Hai Pyaar.
Chitti again is a really beautiful video about a girl going away into another city, and the whole journey of it transpires. You seem to be liking this stuff, storyboarding through a video, doing a fair bit of acting and things like that. I'm not saying that you're getting into an acting career like Badshah, but for the moment, when those hours are there for filming, do you enjoy the acting?
I'm struggling through it, because I have actors in front of me and I have professional directors in front of me. I'm the least professional actor on the set. So I'm literally struggling, and I'm just trying to convince as much as possible, convince myself that I'm doing this. I really work hard on what I'm supposed to do on the shoot. I prepare those roles like as if I'm going for a film or something. I work hard to do that. But I think that's very, very important. Visuals today, if I want to do a cutting edge sound, if I want to create a new sound, if I want to talk of independent music, then I need great visuals, because it gives my music more weightage.
Let's do it. Hai Pyaar Ka. Jubin Nautiyal, ladies and gentlemen.
So this song is completely inspired from the time of music that I grew up listening to. There used to be great bands from all over the country, great music flowing. Rahman Saab was doing independent music. Mohit Chauhan, Lakeli, KK, Palash. That was the time I grew up listening to. And I felt that time got lost in between somehow, in the commerce maybe, when the albums went out. And so that's what Hai Pyaar Ka is.
It is back, courtesy guys like Jubin. So KK, Lucky Ali, Silk Route, Mohit Chauhan, who's lead vocalist of Silk Route. This song especially goes out to you guys.
है प्यार क्या मिल जाए तो आसमां, है प्यार क्या मिल जाए तो दास्तां, मंजिल कहूँ तुझको मैं या हसरतों का जैसे कारवां, है प्यार क्या मिल जाए तो आसमां, मौसम कहूँ तुझको मैं या खिलती हुई शाम की बदली है प्यार क्या किसको पता है प्यार क्या तू ही बता है प्यार क्या किसको पता है प्यार क्या तू ही बता सुबह का तुझको मैं या सरगम में यूं लिपटा सीने में जहां बाकी है इस प्यार की पहचान बाकी है कैसे रूठूं ऐ दिल बता एक कतरा अरमां बाकी है प्यार क्या मुझको जो हो गया है प्यार क्या क्या ये तुझको भी हुआ
Thing of beauty, Jubin Nautiyal. I mean, it's basically about that, isn't it? I mean, who knows the meaning of love?
Yeah.
You know, you can become a father, you can become a husband. I mean, I've gone through those phases. You haven't.
Yes, I haven't. I
And I'm still searching for the meaning of love because, you know, there is so much love. And sometimes you can't pinpoint on that.
Yes.
Do you feel that way all the time? Yeah.
I think I have made peace with the fact that I am supposed to explore what love is to the last, till my end. And I many times I told myself that this must be love, this is it. But then it surprises me every time, and that's what makes me an artist. I think how much I feel love, how much I feel the present moment. I think people are living either in the past or in the future. So I think love is actually happening in the present, and that's why we miss it from our life.
So beautifully put. Now, we are going to talk about Kabir Singh and Khandaani, Shafakhana. You know, those tracks are doing the chart magic. But I like the fact that, you know, you went back to your roots in some form by doing a Garhwali folk song. I mean, this was with Tulsi.
Yeah.
You know, is it called electro pop? Is that what the T-series guys call it? Yeah?
Electro folk. It's called electro folk, and the song I did was Tachuma.
It's superb. I don't even know what it means. I mean, the chorus, Tachuma. But it was just so beautiful. And I love the moment, you know, in the video where you actually take Tulsi's hand and you come up in front and, you know, you move from a sitting position to standing. So, did that happen naturally? Yeah, you know, one of those things?
It was very, very natural. Very, very natural. I think when you're performing, in that moment, if you're comfortable with everybody on the set, on the project, that comfort zone is going to see in your performance. And that's what we were able to capture. Me and Tulsi were actually enjoying the song, and we were actually celebrating the song, and that's how it looks.
So what does it mean? What does Tachuma mean?
Tachuma is, it's like Balle Balle in Punjabi. Tachuma is in Garhwali. It means celebration. Basically, people say Tachuma. Tachuma means they are celebrating something. Probably a dance form or something, yeah.
The Kabir Singh track looks as though almost it was even written, conceptualized, everything with you in mind. And in that aspect, you know, musicians, true musicians have to have large hearts. I like Mithun a lot. I mean, he's just a wonderful guy. Working with him on that track must have brought the two of you closer as human beings.
So Mithun is somebody I always compliment him for how sure he is of the song before he starts working on it. In his head, when he's working in the composition, when he's working on the composition bit, he works on it to such a point that he is sure by the time he sits on the production machine to produce it or take the song ahead. And that is his biggest forte, I think, how he holds his thought and he executes it. There are many distractions that will happen in between, but he always executes his thought, and that's the best of music he's putting forward again and again. तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम और तुझे कितना चाहें और हम was we dubbed it like a year back or something, and it when I heard the song, he said that I want pain in this, I need
Just a
pathos.
very intense song.
Very, very intense song.
And it complements an intense film because the film is just so intense.
And how they have placed the song in the film, it is, if somebody asks me which song did you sing in Kabir Singh, I say the song which made you cry is the one I sang, because that's where, in that point, how he builds it up and makes the song land at such a point where you just give up in the film, and you somehow suddenly start relating to the character who you hated throughout the film. You know what I mean? I think there were a lot of great things that happened in that film, and that was the magic of the director. I would not deny that at all. In fact, I would want to mention that how the director held his thought and got his project together. It was amazing.
I always feel that artists, irrespective of what corner of the globe they are in, there are some things in common between the two of them. And I know that you do a mean Ed Sheeran whenever you can, and it's surprising because you're a boy from the hills, and suddenly you're thrown into the madness of Mumbai city, and you do go back to the hills to be in the present moment because you commune with Mother Nature. You've told me that Ed Sheeran grew up in a small town called Suffolk, which is by the hills, and Castle on the Hill talks about that, about him rolling down the plains and things like that. So can I ask you to do something really special, which is go from one of your contemporary Hindi tracks, Bollywood tracks, to an international track?
I will try.
Let's do it.
I will try.
Jubin Nautiyal doing some exceptional fusion for you guys, and this is something only this man can do. This is going to be magic. Guys, check it out.
दिल का दरिया बह ही गया राहों में यूं जो तू मिल गया मुश्किल से मैं संभला था टूट गया हूँ फिर एक दफा बात बिगड़ी है इस कदर दिल है टूटा टूटे हैं हम तेरे बिन न लेंगे एक भी दम तुझे कितना चाहें और हम तेरे साथ हो जाएंगे खत्म तुझे कितना चाहे और And the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only
Thing of beauty, Jubin Nautiyal. Thing
Thank
of
you.
beauty. Thing of
Thank
beauty. So Khandaani Shafakhana is in theatres as we speak.
Wow.
And that's another track that you associated with. Tulsi again is duetting on with you on that.
Yeah.
So just music credits, whose composition, whose words.
So Khandaani Shafakhana is a very, very special song. One, it's my debut with Pyaar.
Mm.
It's my debut with Pyaar. She's
Pyaar
a
Dev.
brilliant composer. This is her first composition, and my voice is sounding like it's another debut of a different voice, and that's the beauty of a composer, how she's seeing my voice. I think there should be more female composers because I think women have a very strong understanding for emotions and very good control over emotions, and I think putting it in a song composition, it's beautiful. We can come with some beautiful work. The song is being produced by Aditya Dev, and this song sounds so beautiful because I have a very family kind of a vibe with the couple, and we work hard on the song while we are having fun, and that's when we get good takes and better sound in a song. Big hug to Kabir, who's written the song. Very unlike his usual writing, very different from what he writes. And yeah, that's what that song is. Love to Sonakshi and love to Badshah for a film. Best of luck for this film, and we guys love you.
Bro, when you're successful and you're doing the kind of work that you're doing, which is continuously moving in and out of projects, are you able to do enough listening? I mean, often I ask myself, am I listening to enough radio?
Yeah.
Because I'm a radio presenter. So what's on your playlist? Are you listening to stuff? Are you able to? Do you have time? You know, just randomly some artists that you would discover on a streaming site. Have you been able to do that off late, or just too busy?
I think as I am exploring my voice on different genres, I get mails and messages from all over the world where people want me to listen to different kind of music. I get my South African fans who send me their local music and I listen to that. Sometimes, right now I'm involved in a lot of African stuff, man. Like there's some really crazy percussive stuff, and I've been involved in it for a bit, but now I want to understand the percussive style of African music, how they are so good with beats, and especially the acoustic bit of instrumentation there. They have solid punch in their music, and that's what I'm listening to right now. But I do listen to world music and a lot of stuff, from ghazals, from Ghulam Ali ghazal, Mehndi Hasan Saab ghazals, to opera also sometimes. I'm still trying to understand that form of music.
And it's amazing that you would say Africa, because civilization started in Africa, you know, humankind. And they said that the first music came out of Africa, you know, because early man used the bark of a tree to start doing some percussions, you know.
Percussions were the thing, and they are so good with that. Their style of playing, the matras, the meter that they have caught, it's very special, and it's just that meter which makes it sound so earthy and rooted. You know, something about that sound, man. It's really attractive.
What's your favorite decade in terms of music? Would it be 70s, 80s, 90s, or now? And why? Let's expand it. Not just music, but fashion also.
I think 80s was a very good time. 80s was nice. 90s was nice. I think 70s, 80s, 90s, they all were nice. I mean, I'm an old school guy, so I relate to all three of the thing, and I celebrate that thought of how earlier men used to be, and how then how generations moved on, where we are today. I think people had more substance, people had more depth, people have had more understanding back in the days. People had more understanding for music, and people had more patience. Actually, it all comes down to patience. So yeah, it's good to relate to that time. I think I belong from that time, just in a younger body.
Time warp is what you need. Is there a travel destination you went to and said, wow, you're not allowed to say the hills, you're not allowed to say home? Any other? I mean, you're traveling so much.
I went to Switzerland, and
Geneva, Lucerne, where were you?
I went to Les Alpes, which was very nice. Again, the mountains, Alps. It was just breathtaking. But at the same time, I came back with a question not a question, an answer in my head. We have equally pretty mountains, and a very good culture as they celebrate it. We just need to start celebrating it.
We're doing something called Run with Radio 1. Do you do cardio at all? Do you go for a run in,
I'm a mixed martial art guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, black belt.
Do you still get time to practice?
No, I've not been practicing for some
Don't mess with Jubin Nautiyal. So through school, with the music, you're also doing that.
time. 7 years I trained in Okinawa, Gujuryu.
And they say the martial arts trains you in amazing ways, like breath control, body control.
I think I was a much aggressive person before I started learning. After I started learning, I could focus more on my arts bit. I became calmer as a person. Probably I figured out one thing, that the person who is weak is the person who starts the fight. You have to be a stronger person is the one who doesn't fight back.
You don't do any cardio at all. You don't run on a treadmill or this and that. You don't. How long?
walk.
Do you do 20 minutes or half an hour?
For a month I have not been doing, but before that I was walking like 8 kilometers a day.
In the outdoor or on treadmill?
Outdoor.
Wow! Just put a hoodie on and go out.
Put a hoodie on, leave from Oshivara, walk down till Mandir Masjid, and
Oshivara and Mandir Masjid is a good walk. That's a good walk, brother. That's amazing. My last question before I go is that Afroz Shah is this guy who's cleaning Versova beach.
Yeah.
He cleans all the plastic out along with his team. He's a UN ambassador now.
Big shout to him, man.
And
Lovely.
Afroz says that every time he pulls it out of the beach, the plastic just keeps coming back because we've polluted the environment so much. What is happening in the Nautiyal house, for example? What are you doing to save the planet?
Well, there are a lot of. While I was in Uttarakhand, I just travelled down to the outskirts of Dehradun. There was a village there, which is just sticking to the capital city of Uttarakhand, just there. And I just walked up to the village with a camera team. We shot the whole thing. How I figured out that people are migrating. I think the biggest problem is migrating. What happens is we have enough place for everybody to live comfortably in a comfortable environment, eat fresh vegetables, breathe fresh air. But because of lack of facilities, people from villages are not getting development there, so they are migrating down to the cities, and it's becoming city can't handle so many people. Either you spread out the city. So I have started working on that moment now. I have started putting a little bit pressure on the government of Uttarakhand. With God's grace, I have reached that place in my life where I can put that pressure. So I am putting some pressure, getting the whole issue of migration, and we should talk about it more, because I think if we don't stop migration, it is going to reach a very bad place where villages have gone empty and stuff, and soon there will be no vegetables for us to eat, no fresh vegetables.
Proud of you, bro. Proud of you.
Cheers.
Jubin, best of luck. Thank you for everything. Much love, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise.